Everyone always says that money won't make you happy, but most people don't really believe that. Most people look at all the problems in their lives that could seemingly be fixed by money, and they think if they just had this amount of money, then they could finally be happy and all of their problems would go away. We've also heard the saying, more money, more problems, and it really does seem that rich people are more miserable than everyone else. But to people that have never been rich, that seems absolutely ridiculous. How could you still not be happy even if you have all the money in the world? Well, to start, philosophers have known for over 2,000 years that happiness is not a worthwhile pursuit. Happiness itself is just an emotion. I can feel happy one day, and then something bad can happen, and now all of a sudden I feel sad the very next day. Happiness cannot be achieved because it requires you to be free of suffering, which is impossible because we know life itself is suffering. And happiness, because it is just an emotion and it's not a state, is fleeting by its very nature. So imagine you start out your career and you don't have a lot of money, and you decide to work really hard so that one day you can have money and be happy. And maybe it takes 2 decades of very hard work and you finally make it. You finally have the money that you wanted, but something strange happens. You don't actually feel happy. You spent all this time and hard work thinking that this one thing, if I just get to this one place, I'll finally be happy. And once you get there, you realize that there's still a void left in you that needs to be filled. Well, in this scenario, which happens a lot, even now that you have money, you're going to be miserable. You realize that you wasted a quarter of your life thinking that this one thing will make me happy, only to find out that it doesn't, and something is still missing. You still want more. So if we can all understand that happiness is not a good goal to strive for, then what is? The ancient Greek philosophers thought that to have a good life, or eudaimonia, I didn't pronounce that right, you must have virtue or character. Now, this idea of what makes a good life has transcended from just virtue to the pursuit of meaning in modern philosophy. So if you spend your life focused on becoming rich and making money, and it doesn't bring you true meaning, well then of course you're still going to feel empty because nothing truly within you has changed. Your life is just easier, which isn't necessarily a good thing. And what truly makes this a tragedy is the thought behind all of it, that this will really bring me a good life, working towards it and then actually achieving it and still feeling empty. Rich or poor, hopefully everyone can understand how that might be a real what the fuck moment for somebody. And this is a bit of a cliche, but the rich man isn't necessarily the wealthiest, and truly success cannot be quantified by money. So what makes a successful life? Is it just the pursuit of meaning? Well, now we enter the territory of my own speculation, and I believe that even meaning is not enough. I of course cannot know this for sure, but I do speculate that a man can spend his whole life in the pursuit of meaning and actually achieve true meaning and still feel empty. Now, if I'm right and meaning truly is not enough, well then I would say that that is evidence for divinity. If not even meaning is enough, then surely there must be something else out there that our soul or spirit craves. And even if you're not religious, we must explore this idea that if nothing on earth can satiate us, then doesn't that mean that we crave something beyond earth itself? And I do think that I actually have a decent answer for this for the religious folks and the non-religious folks. I think to truly have a good life, you need 3 things: meaning, love, and divine purpose. Let me give an example. Consider the man that doesn't make a lot of money, but he has a loving wife and loving children. Maybe this man doesn't necessarily love his job, but he finds tremendous meaning in waking up every day and sacrificing his time so that his wife and kids can have food on the table and a roof over their heads. And maybe this man finds his divine purpose in simply being a part of something and just being a cog in the wheel, helping the world go round. Now, this man would be far more successful and far richer than a man with millions of dollars, but no meaning, no love, and no divine purpose. Notice how money and wealth is not a part of the equation. The more poor man has love, meaning, and divine purpose. Now, achieving money and wealth is not a bad thing, but it's the pursuit of money and wealth that will leave you empty, which is why you need more. Imagine having a deep passion about something, and it brings you tremendous meaning in doing it. You feel compelled to do it. And if you dedicate yourself to that one thing, it almost becomes a certainty that you will find a way to make money doing that very thing. So do not neglect what is meaningful. Follow that voice in your head that tells you what to do, because you will likely find meaning in doing that. And if you pursue what you love, and it brings you meaning, well, that's the real key to success. You cannot have a good life without meaning. Also, do not neglect love. Love is not an emotion. Love is God, and it transcends morality. You cannot have a good life without love. And finally, find your divine purpose, for you cannot have a good life without it. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe. Thank you.